I'm in Salad, and I just fought off the Ghostface Killer. You know, he's kinda got my neck, but I got him with the kickiness, and I saw Scream. It is directed by Wes Craven. Man, I have not seen any of his other movies except for this one, so all I know is that this is just based on a bunch of horror tropes, and it's a satire on all these horror tropes. You know, it's quite fun. And so, if you haven't seen this movie, it's classic. Why haven't you? You need to go watch it. Alright, the movie starts. There's a murder. Well, I'm jumping the gun a little bit. First, it's spooky phone call time. This woman is making popcorn. And the most atrocious thing, while she's on the phone with the killer, he's like, oh, I can see you. She's not paying attention to the popcorn. Honestly, like, that's... her boyfriend gets disemboweled, which is gruesome. And then when she also gets disemboweled by going through the front porch, and the parents were there. And honestly, just like how I'm on the patio and I have like a bunch of friends inside, she was also on the patio when she died. And her parents didn't even see her until her mom walks out and sees her hanging from a rope, disemboweled, intestines everywhere. Very gruesome, very shocking, rather. Very shocking, very traumatic for the main character. Sydney is the one who survives, but it is her friend who dies. Keep that in mind. Alright, so Sydney, she's really cool. She's a bad apple, but like a good type of bad apple. But anyway, she clearly has some PTSD when it comes to almost being murdered. Like, the killer goes for her next, she almost gets murdered, kicks him out of the way, and then she's at school, and a bunch of children, by children I mean teenagers, just random teenagers, pretending that they're the Ghostface Killer. It is well known that it is Ghostface Killer who's killing these children. So sad, look, cry. But then, she's in the bathroom. She's got girls gossiping about her. Ooh, I wonder if she killed. Who killed who? Don't know. Doesn't matter. It's all a bunch of like making up stuff. But what's super fun? She's in the bathroom alone. All the stalls empty until boots come down off the toilet. It's like, is that the killer? We don't know. It could just be another practical joke, but she's smart enough to just go running. Go very fast. Make sure you're like Sonic. I think Sonic came out earlier than this, so it's appropriate to make a Sonic reference here. Alright, and then, you get the whole drama, I'd say, with whatever the news lady, yeah, her. Yeah, she's like, ooh, juicy story. I have a book about how your mom, Sydney, by the way, she was raped and murdered, and I made a book about it, and I profited off of it. And I think that the killer is still out there. I mean, of course, Sydney's in denial, but you got friends being like, I'm not sure, this is a little fishy. What is going on? She's super, just like, alright, in denial. No, it was the guy who I locked away. He's the murderer. But there's also another instance. Basically, while she's in the process of about to be murdered by the Ghostface Killer, Billy walks in, crawls in through the window, and drops phone. That's the trope. Oh, hey, he must be the killer. He gets interrogated by the police. The police are like, Very fishy, but we're gonna check the call logs. Call logs are checked. Oh, it turns out he's not the killer, so who is the killer? What is going on? There's mass hysteria everywhere, to the point where they cancel school. School's out for the rest of the summer. And the kids are gonna have a party about it. These kids, they're like, oh my gosh, we're gonna have this amazing party in these trying times. They didn't even get an egg for these trying times. They were like, oh, we're gonna throw all these party. We're gonna throw this big old party at my house. Let's do it. Let's go. We're gonna do the thing. We're gonna be teenagers. We're gonna have alcohol. And it's gonna be a lot of fun. Also, the principal, right after school is canceled, principal gets yeeted. Ugh. Gets the same treatment as I did before I kicked the Ghostface Killer's butt. But what's also fun, there's like this ongoing romantic relationship that's starting to develop between the sheriff, who's like in charge of this case, and like this news anchor who's just trying to get all the juicy deets. And she's trying to get interview with the victims, and it's like, this is a little bit poor taste. I know it's your job, lady, but poor taste. And she's like, all right, I'm gonna follow this news coverage. Let's go to the house party. Man, what a cool house party. Honestly, everyone's now in one spot. When the house party was mentioned, I was like, oh, that's a really good idea, actually. Everyone's in one spot. What's the worst that could go wrong? People go off on their own alone? No, they need accountability buddies. But these are teenagers, so you know what they do? They have lots of fun. And one of them goes off alone. And then this is hilarious. It's the blonde. She's like, ooh yeah, I'm gonna go in the garage. She goes in the garage. The door gets locked behind her. She's like, this ain't funny. Randy? Why do you always think it's Randy? First of all, Randy, you pranking me? You wanna roleplay as some psycho killer? Alright. Yeah, I'm the helpless victim. Yeah, I'm that. And you're the psycho killer. It's like, very meta. She does not know that's what the tropes are playing within here. So I'm like, wow, I like that. I like how she's commented on the movie, but doesn't understand that she's in a movie herself. So it's really fun. The rest of the movie does this with his characters too. It's super fun. But definitely towards later in the movie. But at this point, she's like, hey, I'm the helpless victim. And then she thinks it's all play a game until he brings a knife, slits her arms, she goes, and like runs. Doesn't like take any of the tools or whatever from the garage and like hit him with it. But she's like, oh, I'm gonna open the garage door. Opens the door. She's like, alright, actually that's not working. Instead, I'm going to crawl through this dog gate. And she gets through her body. Stops at the waist. Her butt's too big. And she can't get back out because her tits are too big. And so, Ghostface Killer's like, easy! Opportunity! I'm just gonna crush your head with the top of the garage, and it's brutal. Man. And then he goes back inside. It's like, oh no, the killer's here. He's gonna murder, death, kill some more. You got a big group of people. They're watching TV on the couch. You also have the news reporter lady. She goes in the house with the sheriff because the sheriff is here to supervise Sydney, but the sheriff is like, nope, you can just have fun at this party. You'll be fine. Oh, man. But they do, the news lady puts a camera on top of the TV, and then she goes on a walk with the sheriff, just away. They're just gonna have a lot of awayness and talk. And there's a lot of tension there. But also, more fun things happen, such as they're all watching a movie, and it's like, oh, Yeah, don't you know the horror tropes? They describe the horror tropes and it's like, oh boy. A, sex equals death. There are two characters having sex. It's like, oh boy, these characters are they gonna die next? And then it's like, never say you'll be alone. I'll be right back, because you'll never be right back. And then one of the characters is like, oh, I'll be right back, ooh! And then you get the more fun thing ever, which is like, anyone who loses their virginity dies. And no drinks or drugs. It's like, well, everyone's been drinking and drugging here. So I don't understand what the point of this is, but it's super fun. Someone walks in. Hey, well, it's a call. Someone calls and is like, hey, there's the principal is hanging from the football post and is disemboweled. It's gross. Almost everyone leaves. Except for Randall. Randall's there. It's like, oh, okay. Everyone else sucks except for Randall? Okay. Randall's watching a movie. Look behind you! Look behind you! And meanwhile, you get to see the Ghostface killer's like, hey, there's bugs out here. But also, he's about to stab him. And basically, he's saying the same dialogue as, hey, you need to look behind you. But he's not doing it. He's saying it to the movie, but it also applies in real life. Something like sound. The Ghostface killer bolts. Then we get to see there's a camera operator guy with the news lady. He's hanging in the back of the van. That's where the camera display is at. He is there. It's on a 30-second loop. Sydney comes in. Bang bang, please help. He's like, all right, come here. Wait, where's the killer? Let's open the door again. He gets, of course, bad. And then the killer chases Sydney. Sydney gets got. It's just unfortunate. She goes back into the house, and it's like, oh boy. Well, no, she goes into the police car first. Also, almost gets got. But then she runs into the house. The Ghostface killer disappears, and out comes Stu and Randy, blaming each other. It's them. Nope, Sydney has none of that. She instead closes the door on them, and then Billy comes stumbling out, just like that, in the stairs. And then it turns out that Stu and Billy are the killers all along. They got Sydney. I'm gonna kill you, Sydney, and they also got the dad. And it's like, oh no, they're gonna plan it on the dad and also kill both of them, and what they're gonna do is stab each other to make it look convincing that they were fighting for the life. But then, one gets accidentally stabbed too much, and the other is like, oh yeah, I'm so angry. That's all the furniture being put everywhere. It goes flying. But I guess they didn't account for the news lady being there because she's like, safety's on. And she's like, goes to shoot, doesn't shoot. They're like, okay. Bam! And then she kind of lays there. They didn't even check if she was dead. Alright. It goes back inside the house. They've lost track of Sydney at this point. And it's like, oh no, what is all this commotion happening? No! And then the news anchor comes back and she's like, bam! Shoots Billy. The other guy, already bleeding out. And there was a fun moment where it's like, hold on. Wait, he could be trying to jump scare you. And waits a little bit. Jumps up, and Sydney at this point has a gun. Bam! Right in the head, right in the noggin. It's like, yeah, I love it. It's pretty awesome. I loved it. And then that was it. That was pretty much. They save the dad. They get the duct tape off the dad, and they're having a holly jolly time with not being murdered. But the news lady now has a story. It's pretty gonzo because she's involved. It's pretty rad, and that's how it ends. Well, not before it fades to black, and then, bam! another jump scare. That's the end of the movie. Wow, that was very eventful. I liked the meta-ness of it. Oh man, just the way that it was established, like in the house where everything was happening, from like the outside shots, and then wherever Sydney was, and then another outside shot and showing like where she is relative to everything else was pretty cool. I really liked the setting. It was effectively used, in my opinion. And so, I'm gonna give this movie a solid 7.9 out of 10. I know it's a parody of horror movies, but this is definitely has to be one of my favorites so far, out of the ones that I've seen. Maybe there will be more. I have not seen a lot of horror movies, but I'm very excited to check out more. I want to see all the movies. That's my ultimate goal. This one is a lot like Cabin in the Woods. I've seen it, it's one of my favorites, and I'm definitely going to review it on the channel soon, so stick around for that. If you like that content, I have more content on patreon.com/ASEpresents for $3 a month. You get some daily vlogs. Hey, that's pretty cool. Also, $5 a month, I got some salad dressings. It's where I try on clothes that I get, including costume reviews, so that's pretty neat. And then, $20 a month, you get one movie review per 1 month. Go to patreon.com/ASEpresents. If you want to have some smanchy, fancy 18+ adult content, super fun, I answer all fan DMs, go to this link tree right here. You gotta click it. Well, if you click the screen, it'll pause, but it'll give you enough time to type it in the URL. So go check out this link tree here. Until next time, I'm in Salad Saw. I'll see you later, my salad croutons in bacon bits.